Ebullient greetings. I'm your host, Jacquie Bird of Jacquie Bird Spiritual Wellness, your guide to stress and anxiety relief, mindfulness, awareness, self-care, self-love, and personal growth. Welcome and thank you for joining me as we roll with peace in mind. Today's riff is Take a Walk in Courage. Courage is defined by Webster's dictionary as mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. Sometimes when we think of courage, we think in terms of big ticket items like jumping out of an airplane or standing up to a bully. I was bullied by a girl in the 4th grade who was bigger in frame than me. Funny, I can see her right now. I don't know why she decided to make it her mission to pick on me. I always tried to get along with everyone, but that girl couldn't stand me and helped to make my life continue to be a living hell. In the previous year, I had lost my mother suddenly, and my whole world exploded. 5 months later, I had a newly minted stepmother I didn't know, and dealing with her was a journey in and of itself. And also that September, I began traveling alone to a new school over a mile away from my house. Lots of newness for my little 9-year-old self, events so out of my control, and the last thing I wanted to do was to have to physically defend myself. Each time that girl approached, I ran or tried to get away, wiggling through kids on the crowded bus on the way home rather unsuccessfully. Went home with scratches. Dad told me to fight back. I didn't want to. Why did I have to? I already felt like I was fighting for life with all the new changes and I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. Fight back? Hit someone? What if she beats me up? Well, she was kind of doing that anyway. The next day was the threat. Wait till after school, I'ma beat your butt. You know how when you want time to go quickly and it drags, but when you don't want it to go fast, it zooms by? Yep. Well, after school came way fast, and here we are at the bus stop, and the crowd of kids made that circle you make when a fight was about to go down. And here she comes, pushing me. And then I let go of fear's hand, and out popped my courage. I took a chance. I swung my heavy-ass book bag with all my might. I seem to remember swinging in a circle to keep her at bay. I walloped her good, man. She was in no position to touch me because of that swinging of the book bag. And that idea just popped into my head. It was just a book bag right at you. And then it was over. Just like that. The bus came. We all got on. I went home beaming. I did it. I fought back. The folks were proud. She never bothered me again. We actually ended up becoming friends. Whew, how about that? Little did I realize, for all of my short years on the planet, I had exhibited an enormous amount of courage. Going on from a devastating loss takes an unmeasurable amount of courage and strength, but it's not always a loud trumpeting thing. Courage! It can be a quiet occurrence, like trying something different, such as venturing into a newly opened restaurant you know nothing about, or learning to do something completely new. You know, it's been a long time that I saw this piece on 2020, but they were saying that after the age of 35, people are reluctant to try or learn new things. Ooh, I certainly hope that has changed. But as I and the population has gotten older, I have observed people's reticence to step out of their comfort zone, even the young folk. You know, step out of their comfort zone and be daring, be different, be themselves. We become very set in our ways, and though unhappy with a lot of things that our habits dictate, many people are resistant to changing. They would rather complain about what they don't like as opposed to summoning, or rather allowing, the courage and willpower. Come on out to make changes. Changing takes courage. Courage to look at how our mentality, our life outlook is so rooted in fear. We don't open our social circles. We don't make it our business to reach out to others different from ourselves. So suspicious of others are we, generally speaking. We don't make friends with people of different ages. We tend to stay within our age groups. It's really important to speak to elders. They got a lot of stuff to tell us. They are history walking. They are wisdom in many cases of walking, and things that they can tell us that make our lives easier. But we, in fear or ignorance or whatever, laziness, I don't know, we tend to shut them out. And those of us that are older don't necessarily make friends with the younger. It takes courage, because young folk could be a little rough in terms of dealing with folks that are older, but we need to have patience with each other, and that can take some courage. It takes courage to step out on faith and to not allow fear to dominate us. We are scared about so many things. We must take a walk in courage to transmute the fear, to transmute the anxiety, to transmute the stress. Courage to make changes in habitual thought patterns that no longer serve us. How does one get courage? In knowing that courage is not something you get or have to go out and buy, but it is something you allow, which I said earlier. You have to allow it because it is already inside of you. People will go, well, how do I get courage? I don't know how to do that. It's already in you. When one exhibits courage, they have made the choice either consciously or unconsciously to step around, under, over, or through the fear, to fully be present and do the damn thing, whatever that may be. Quote, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Nelson Mandela. Courage does not always roar. Sometimes courage is the little voice at the end of the day that says, I'll try again tomorrow. Mary Ann Rodmacher. I might have butchered her name. And from one of my favorite poets, Hafez. We have not come here to take prisoners, but to surrender ever more deeply to freedom and joy. We have not come into this exquisite world to hold ourselves hostage from love. Run, my dear, from anything that may not strengthen your precious budding wings. Run like hell, my dear, from anyone likely to put a sharp knife into the sacred, tender vision of your beautiful heart. We have a duty to befriend those aspects of obedience of our house and to shout to our reason, oh please, come out and play. For we have not come here to take prisoners or to confine our wondrous spirits, but to experience ever and ever more deeply our divine courage, freedom, and light. End quote. He says we have not come here to take prisoners. We tend to make ourselves prisoners. We hold ourselves prisoners in our fear. It takes desire, courage, intention, and willpower to step out of our comfort zones and to make changes. Try that new idea. Start that business you've been wanting to begin. Learn a new language no matter your age. Move to that new place or country. Leave that relationship or begin anew. Embark on learning the true you better without any interference from the outside. Stop listening to what people have to say. Stop listening to other people's opinions. Listen to the inner guidance that you are equipped with. Exercise the courage that's within you all along. Let go of fear's hand long enough for it to come through. Courage is taking your own hand to do what your inner being urges you to do. Courage doesn't wait for the opinions, sanctions, or approval of another for you to do you. Courage steps past the whisperings and or yellings of fear to accomplish the task at hand, whether it's to save another or to save yourself. When you find that you are holding tightly onto fear because it has assured you that you're safer with it, sit quietly with eyes closed. Breathe in very deeply through the nose on the count of 4. Let the air out slowly through the nose on the count of 5. Repeat 3 times or more. Listen to the sound of the breath as it nourishes every cell of the temple that is your body. Listen as it flows out of you into the atmosphere. Feel your body let go of pent-up tension. Relax the jaw, unclench the teeth, relax the shoulders. Move your head slowly to stretch the muscles in the neck, shoulders, and upper back. We hold so much tension there. And when you find yourself totally relaxed, ask, why am I afraid to do whatever that is that you're afraid to do? What is the worst that can happen? And you may get a barrage of answers, all the things you're scared of. Notice what happens to your heart rate, to your breathing as you go through your fear laundry list. After you've had your fill, repeat the exercise of the breath in and out slowly through the nose. Once you've returned to a relaxed state, ask, what's the best of what could happen if I do XYZ? And let it rip. Envision the possibilities. Go for it. And once you've had your fill of that, make a note in your phone or on paper, my personal favorite, or both. List the possibilities to look at when you forget what you thought of and when you've taken fear's hand again. Keep that list with you and it will remind you, yeah, I could be a zillionaire if I follow through with this idea. Or I could be fulfilled. Or I could be fulfilled in a millionaire. Whatever the possibilities you can see, allow yourself to see them. That is your courage list. Time to take a walk. Dang, I hadn't thought about that incident with the bully in a good long while. What things can you think of in your own life where you exhibited courage? Thank you so much for listening. Please consider becoming a patron by subscribing to I Am a Friend of the Roll with Peace in Mind podcast, which you will find on my website, JackieBirdSpiritualWellness.com. That's JACQUIEBIRD spiritualwellness.com. That link is in the show notes. Your support will go a very long way and is greatly appreciated. And while you're there, check out more stress and anxiety relief and mindfulness guides, including ebooks, meditation music, weekly Stress Busters guided meditation virtual classes, and at your own convenience, guided meditation videos and guided meditation tracks to assist you in your stress relief mindfulness practice. And in the meantime, remember to roll with peace in mind.